Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Video Game Collectors Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Rose. This guy is
And
Josh
I'm Josh, yeah.
and
And
Josh.
down here, this guy, where'd he go?
Where'd he go? He left.
He left.
Yeah. So, oh, there he is.
Oh my goodness.
It's Dan Gomez.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast, Dan Gomez.
Welcome.
Well, thank you
Welcome.
for having me back after almost a year and for lifting my ban after all this time. You guys really have to stop banning me. I'm running out of burner emails to use to get on here.
Well,
Look at you, looking all debonair like Seth Bullock in Deadwood. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Have you seen Deadwood before?
No.
Oh wow.
Should I? Should I?
Yeah, it's a great series. It was a one season series on HBO Western.
Red Dead Redemption has the same. Doesn't he? No, he doesn't. He has a
No.
that's a
Yeah, watch Deadwood, Dan.
mm.
Do you guys hear or Matt might care more about this, but they canceled the Halo series. Did you see
I
that?
thought we were going to get
What?
out of this whole episode without mentioning Halo.
Oh no, no, no,
Damn it.
no.
No.
Not this time. Did they really? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, sucks. Like I'm really concerned at this point at like the direction that Halo as a franchise is going, right? Because like the last game, didn't get great reviews. Like it seems like things are kind of going downhill there. Then the show, it's like, I don't know, like are we just gonna see Halo disappear as like an IP? I hope not, but
Now it's just going to turn into Castlevania. That's
Yeah.
it.
Eric's gonna hop in, he's gonna take it over, and we're gonna have Halo 1, 2, and 3 revamped all over again. And we're gonna make Halo great again.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, no, yeah, I can't say I play anything, Master Chief Collection, but that's really you're playing that just to play one, two, or three.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Um,
yeah. You play? We should hop on.
yeah, absolutely. Eric said he's gonna hop on and play with us. So I'm really excited. So yeah, we'll have you join in. Do you have Master
Nice.
Chief and all set up?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down to
Sweet.
Sounds like,
play. Josh.
that
Josh
sounds
wants
like
to play Halo.
Yeah.
bullshit to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were gonna try and get Sean on too, and then Josh
No,
was gonna be the
no, the thing is
sharpshooter.
that whenever we've asked if Sean and Eric want to play Halo, they just kind of scoff at us like, you guys don't want to play with us. Or like, we don't want to play with you, scrubs. So
Yeah,
no.
we'll play Minecraft. How's that?
I
I'd be down to play Minecraft,
I'm sure.
sit
I
in a
don't know.
vegetative state and play some Minecraft.
I don't know how to play Minecraft, but I'll play.
It's a
You should
zone.
play, what you should play? You should play 7 Days to Die. Have you played that?
No.
It's so good, dude. It's like basically like Minecraft. Like you can alter and build anything on the map, anything in the world. Like you can, carve through a mountain and like build your base inside the mountain. But it's like the graphics are a little bit better than Minecraft and not as blocky. So check it out. If you like Minecraft, you'd like it.
7 days a day.
Mhm.
Yeah, we just play Among Us and Minecraft in my house anymore. So
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah, Rome was
Nothing
excited.
retro.
What's that?
I said nothing retro.
No. You kidding me?
I do.
Oh,
I'm playing Mega Man 2 right now.
I do play the Play Choice 10 I just got. Been playing some Mario 3 on that a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into this episode.
I thought we
We
were
got
in this episode.
we got Dan Gomez from Modern Database here with us today. Is that still a thing?
Is that still a thing?
Wasn't it? Wasn't
Well,
it your Instagram handle for a while there, buddy boy?
what do you mean? It's still active.
It still
It's
is.
still
Okay. Just not hitting my algorithm, I guess.
No, I changed my main profile from Super Nintendo because it's not me anymore. Like that's old. That's 2016 me.
Just a old cart collector there.
Things change. Things change, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember my collection when I had that massive wall of just like NES, Super Nintendo, and N64 carts.
Yeah.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
Where did it end up?
Probably in your collection. I don't know.
You piecemealed it out?
I did.
Yeah, I don't buy carts, dude. So no, I didn't.
You're too good for that.
I buy specific cartridges, not something I can get every day. But,
Yeah.
so yeah, I am too good for that, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's basically what he's saying.
Um, yeah, so what's new in the world of Daniel Gomez?
Daniel Gomez. Well, a lot has changed since we last spoke. It's been almost a year now. I mean, particularly this year, you know, most of like I was promoted to head of authentication for all of pop culture for PSA, not just WATA, but basically it's an expanded role. So that includes WATA, Funko, sealed TCG packs, and now comics. I'm sure you guys heard the news about graded comic books. So, I'm sure you're thinking, hey, that's a lot. That's a lot to take on. And, I think my roots are certainly in the video game realm, but in this role, I'm more of like a people leader. So I may not be this expert in every particular field like comic books, but I'm the one that sort of like manages the experts in those fields. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So it's
awesome.
definitely, it's definitely more like a people manager role where you're not actually like hands-on with the product 24/7. I may be asked to look at something or do some research on an item to check authenticity, but it's mainly just like higher level people management, like growing the business also, stuff like that.
Do,
So
do you like it so far?
I love it, man. It's really exposed me to like different collecting circles, different verticals. Like for example, Funko Pops, right? Like I used to think Funko Pops, like I just wasn't into it, right? Like I was just like, okay, it's like some gimmick or whatever. But like once I started like really researching it and doing it as a job, I really started to realize why people love them so much. And at the end of the day, it's a toy, right? Like it's just like any other toy.
Yep.
But what Funko Pops have is like the IP usage, right? Like there's literally a Funko Pop for everything. Your favorite sports player, Pokemon, your TCG, whatever. Like you can find something for anything that you like. So that's kind of what I liked about it, because like if I just wanted like my favorite, San Francisco 49ers football player, behind displayed in my collection as a toy, you have something that's consistently sized all the way through. And yeah, it's just fun to collect. And I found the same for different things like comic books, right? Like I was never like a huge comic book collector. But like doing research, there you go. That's a good one. But doing research, like I'm becoming more and more interested in comic books. So that's what I like about it. It's just getting exposure to these different things.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
fair. I mean that's the way collecting goes though. If you got the collecting bug and you see something else cool, um, hobbies and ideals around why and what you collect, they can change and they do. So I respect
Yeah,
that. Um,
100%.
but like Funko is driven by IP, right? It's just the same kind of structure of a figure, the bobblehead, and then they create the IP around that bobblehead, so to speak. And then they make big ones and other bullshit and cars or whatever. But it's
Yeah.
essentially an IP driven sort of item, and people get behind that. So I guess it kind of fits that mold of you don't even have to be a Funko collector if you want a cool piece, and say maybe you're a horror movie collector and you want a Freddy Krueger Funko or some shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, not for
Yeah.
me, but I can see the allure there.
Sure.
Well, it's
I'd
like,
rather
Sure.
maybe,
I
but
mean, it's like that. I just pulled down a Halo fun. I don't collect Funkos, but actually Sean gave me that one year for a gift. And I think it's cool as hell because it's Halo. So I'm like Master Chief. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And grading is a new, like the thing is like the overall like overarching Funko collecting community is massive. The grading community is a little bit more niche, but it's definitely growing. So we, as Funko, are definitely like in the early stages as WATA once was. And I think WATA is still pretty early in the grand scheme of things, but
Yeah.
Funko is getting there. I know Heritage is having their first ever Funko exclusive auction coming up in October, which
Wow.
is pretty exciting. They've got some grails up there that are pretty nice. But yeah,
I got to interrupt you real quick. When you say Grail in the Funko world, what does that entail? Can you give me an example of what something like that looks like? Because that
yeah.
is not a
So
world I exist in at all. And to me, I I understand manufactured rarity because I just get that. But wherein lies a Grail sort of item in Funko where it was some weird batch thing where they screwed up and printed 15 and said, "Oh, we have to change this." Does that exist in Funko?
It certainly does. Actually, there's a there's a metallic Charizard, which is huge because Charizard Pokemon, it's a massive IP, that was basically unreleased, right? It wasn't really released to the public, but some of them got out there, and they exist, and they're different from the retail versions because the paint finish on them is metallic. So those like that would be like a grail to some people. There's a lot of the early Funko Pops that came out, back in 2010, 2011, some of the earliest Funko Pops to exist that are low number from like San Diego Comic-Con that are numbered to, 97 or like just a low number where not many of them survived, and if they did, they're not usually in great shape. And it's the same thing with video games, right? Like video games, you don't have that like serialization part of it where
Yeah.
like a
Mhm.
black box isn't serialized, right? But how many do you find that are 9.8 condition, not 9.6? Like there's just
Sure.
not many of them. And the older the pop is, the harder it is going to be to get one in good condition, and that's where like the grading comes in to see what that population is. But yeah, I mean stuff like that. I mean, there's all kinds of pops that people consider a grail, and a grail to someone could be like literally like a $9,000, $8,000 pop. It doesn't seem like a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of like the collectible space or in Funko, that's a lot of money for a Funko Pop, right? Like,
Seems
Yeah.
like a shit ton of money for something like that to me.
yeah,
Uh,
and there's several Funko Pops that are within that price range, right around there. Um, the most expensive one that we know of to date is the Willy Wonka 2-pack that was given out at a convention, and that one last sold for 250K. Um,
Oh, for a Funko.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Wow.
okay.
So you were talking about serialization. Are you telling me that ever since the very first Funko that they put out, it's in consecutive order uh, on every single box? So even though they printed, let's say their first Funko, even though it's not as Master Chief, the first 20 they printed, you'll have a one, a two, a three, a four, a five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, and so on. They all boxes have consecutive
No.
serialization.
No, it's not quite like that. How it works is, let's say they make a run of a specific Funko Pop, right? So there's like the
Yeah.
standard version of a pop. Let's say it's not metallic, it's just matte finish.
Yeah.
It's like a
Paint.
chase, Matt. It's
Yeah,
like a
it's like
car.
it's like a chase variant, and then they'll put a sticker on the window of the Funko Pop
Yeah.
that'll say like 48 pieces, to say like 48 of this variant were made.
Mhm.
And they're usually not numbered. Some of them are, but usually they're not numbered like 1 out of 48, 2 out of 48. It just says 48 pieces.
Got it.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
I that makes sense. Now,
yeah,
where does the was it the Nintendo DS Lego Star Wars Jango Fett fit these days? Where's that thing hanging out? Nobody really cares about that thing, but it seems kind of like a rare item that was only packaged
yeah,
with a video game. Um,
yeah.
where's that among collectors? Do they care at this point?
I think if people knew about it, they would care, but people don't know about that one.
Yeah.
It is pretty rare and significant. Do you have one?
When they came out of Target, I bought the two that were at the Target. That's an early Funko too. I want to say it was like 2000, whatever year Lego Star Wars 3 came out.
Yeah.
Um, that's when that came out. Is that 2010 something? I don't know.
I think
And
it's 20.
yeah, and I sold them a long time ago, but I bought them both because I'm like, this is a weird thing. Has got a bobblehead with it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's an early one, man. The early Funko Pops are hard to find. And before that, they were called Wacky Wobblers, and they're like these taller, bobblehead things. And those go way further back. But the actual Funko Pops themselves, the early ones, there's some rare ones out there, and it's cool, man. I see the like I said, I initially, like, before I was involved, like, I didn't really get it, right? But then when I started working in this space, I was like, man, this is pretty cool. And the community too, the community aspect is really cool. The Funko community, they're very like accepting of like new people in that space, and like they're good people and everything. Well, most of them. But it's been cool just being a part of that too.
I like most of them.
Yeah, they haven't been infiltrated by the keyboard warrior video game speedrunners yet.
Not yet.
Oh
Not
my
yet.
God. Wow.
So do you still have your fingers much at all in the gaming world then for WATA? You still okay.
No, that's a fair question. I actually get asked that a lot, by different folks privately. But I'm happy to answer that here. Yes, the answer is yes. My team, I still oversee the team
Okay.
for research and authentication for WATA. I would say I don't look at every single item that comes through anymore.
Yeah.
My team, my team has been with me for the, better half of 3 years now, and they're very they know what to look for at this point. I've taught them everything that I know, and they're very good. So I 100% have trust in them. And if anything special comes up, like an NWC cart, which I can't even count anymore how many NWC carts we've gotten this year. It's pretty insane. I think the first like year or two that we were in Santa Ana, we like got hardly any. And then for whatever reason, this year we've just gotten like an insane amount of NWC cards, including some previously undiscovered copies, which I'm sure you guys have seen at this point.
Mhm. Yeah.
Sweet. So you do still get the random, hey, we need you to take a look at this. Come look at this. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah. It is funny enough. We just got in a fake counterfeit gold NWC card like 2 weeks ago.
Was it a good
Um,
one? I mean, like, did they do a good job, or was it like the release that came out in 1990? What was it, Josh, when they did that on Nintendo Age? Remember there was that short run of 100.
Yeah, but they didn't, those were campus challenges. They never actually made an NWC that was gold. Brian wouldn't do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
I thought
this
somebody
this was
did.
like very uh I wouldn't say it was a good one. Like once you held it in your hand, you knew, right? But
Yeah.
like I think in a photo, it might look convincing. The thing is, and I don't know if this was on purpose, but it didn't have a label. It was labelless.
Yeah.
But it had the cutout for the switches. It had the switches.
Mhm.
Once you held it, you knew that, like, okay, this is not right. And then obviously you open the board, open up the shell, look at the board, and you can tell right away that something's very wrong.
Hope
So
Hopefully that person didn't pay a lot for it. Hopefully they could get their money back.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it sucks. I think about that too, like when we're rejecting stuff, and like we've gotten some bad stuff. Like there's some really bad counterfeit N64 games, like Mario Parties out there, and like
Hmm.
Mario Karts.
Do you get
Uh,
those?
yeah, the ones that have like
Yeah.
the bean bag inside or something. I don't know
What?
what it is.
A
Horseshit,
beanbag?
man. Like that's where eBay authentication needs to exist in video games. because that shit sells all the time on eBay.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
I'm assuming they're coming from maybe like Alibaba or
Yeah,
Etsy.
they buy them in bulk on Alibaba and then
Yeah.
sell them out. That's bad. Bad stuff.
And that's where I feel bad because like that's you could tell that whoever bought that probably isn't like a veteran collector. Like those counterfeits are so bad. Like it's definitely not someone trying to like get one over on us or like a collector who's been collecting for years now that doesn't know. Like this is very much like a new person that came into the hobby and was like, oh wow, a sealed copy of Mario Kart for $50. I'm gonna take that. And they send it in for grading and it's like fake. There's not even a cartridge inside. It's like a little, it sounds like a little bag of like tea inside just rattling around in there. Like there's literally nothing in there. But it's sealed. It's sealed, you know. It's pretty crazy.
Hmm.
Alibaba tea. Hmm.
Mm.
So
Mario
there's
T
a
Kart.
yeah, Mario tea. Tee it up with
Mario
Mario
T
Golf.
Kart.
Yeah. There is a new collection designation or collection named collection with WATA
What?
that, yeah, Quinten Tallman posted on
Oh yeah.
Instagram that he had a game from it. And there is a post on the WATA blog. I went on to try to find it. I couldn't find it.
I've got it.
Dan was kind to find it for us, and we're going to bring it up here and kind of expose people to it, I guess.
This is it, right? The
This is
Midway.
it, the Midway Portfolio Collection. I didn't read this yet,
Yeah.
so
You guys want to go through
let's,
it together?
yeah, let's go through it together. I mean, before we go through it, what can you tell us about it, Dan?
Well, these collection of games came from a gentleman who both worked at Midway and worked on a lot of these games, and he had these stashed away. And a lot of these came basically the company would give these out to employees, and he was smart enough to hang on to them this
Is
whole
this the
time.
dude in California that's been selling stuff on eBay?
They some of these did come up for sale on eBay, and
I
there
got
is
some. Yeah.
yeah. If you scroll down, there is a specific eBay user. So
Mhm.
if you have purchased games, Midway games from this
Matt, you've
person,
bought some of these too. I'm
What
sure Eric has. I
what are
bought
you
that Gauntlet Legends,
what are you
actually.
talking about?
Um, and then somebody bought something and he canceled the sale and he got a negative feedback. I remember seeing. Uh, yeah.
yeah, if you scroll down, Matt, a little bit, you'll see the and I'm sure folks will want to see this, but it'll have his eBay name and like there you
Oh,
go, eBay
Oh,
user.
can you click on it even? Dang, did you guys build the affiliate link in there or not? I got um
oops. Sorry. I'll come. Let me save this, open this in a different
looks
window.
like he got some stuff graded. Look at him.
And then we'll
Hmm.
come.
Actually, I don't know if it's the same seller. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, check it out. So, I mean, if you did buy something off this gentleman, we will recognize them as part of the collection. Just show us the receipt that it came from that seller,
Wow.
Okay.
and yeah, we'll do that.
And these are just some of the games that obviously he's put through there that
Yeah,
Very cool. Let's go to the top there. So Quentin wrote this up for you. He's not an employee of you. We had Quentin on a couple weeks back. Says, what comes to mind when someone mentions the name Midway in the same breath as video games? If you are anything like me, you are instantly overwhelmed with nostalgia. You're transported back in time and inundated with arcade and console gaming memories from what seems like by a bygone era, specifically with arcades. I can close my eyes and picture the abstract, bright, colorful carpet that glows under black lights. The familiar musty smell comes rushing back, and I can see kids watching and waiting their turn to play the next round. I can hear the familiar clang of quarters dumping out of the change machine along with indiscriminate blasts, explosions, beeps, and boops from nearby games. But if I listen just a bit harder, there are a few words or phrases that rise above all of the other noises. He's on fire and finish him. Midway, as a coin op and game developer, is responsible for some of the largest and most influential franchises in 90s video games. Their library reads like a Rolling Stones or Aerosmith's greatest hits album of gaming history, including the likes of Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam, Cruisin', NFL Blitz, Gauntlet Legends, Hydro Thunder, and the list goes on and on. Outside of an arcade, it was almost impossible not to find a Midway game where there was more than one machine gathered, be it in a bar, hotel, or restaurant. Okay, introduction to Midway. There you have it. And this is called the Midway Portfolio Collection. Says it was impressively preserved for decades by a former Midway employee. The individual had a hand in the development and creation of over 50 games during their career. And the games in this collection are uncirculated copies, meaning they didn't come from a store or distribution center. Rather, after the games finished manufacturing, fresh cases were shipped directly to the Midway development studio, where employees were given a copy at no charge. Most of these employees opened the games to see the finished product of their hard work, or gave it to their children or others to play and enjoy. Okay.
Wow.
Yep.
So
The individual.
Oh,
Go ahead, Matt.
Nope.
Oh, the individual had these copies, carefully transported them home to be stored in a drawer or cabinet, and kept them sealed all these years. The reason for this decision is referenced in the name. This collection of factory fresh games was intended to serve as their portfolio of work. As retirement now draws near, the desire to scale down has been the catalyst to sell these games. With the help of another individual, these games have been listed for sale on eBay. And this is where you may have seen some rare and hard to find games in near mint or mint condition for sale by the eBay user Sugot, Sugott, like Gotti, but no I, 28. As it turns out, several orders from some of these games were created and sent to WATA Games for grading before listing on eBay. At the time, no one was aware of the magnitude of this collection of the collection. Both raw and graded games have already found new homes in collectors' hands. Okay, and that's it. So go check out this eBay user if you want a named collection pedigreed game. Is this a name collection or is it a pedigree or is it both, Dan? What can you tell us?
So this is a named collection.
Okay.
So I'm guessing any game in here, man,
Looks like he's graded some. Yeah. That's very cool.
Even like the ungraded, you could probably send these into you and get it graded.
Yeah. So that's
a tough game sealed. NBA hang tab.
And did you say NBA hang tab?
Yeah, almost. NBA hang time on Super
Time.
Nintendo.
I thought
Never came HC. This was always a vertical overlap and only released that way. So
and this is a pedigree, not a name collection. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. But just thinking back at like all the games that Midway put out, it's just insane what like their catalog incorporates. I don't know what your favorite is, but one of my favorite Midway games will always be Hydro Thunder. Because when I was a kid, my parents would take us to Round Table Pizza. I don't know if you guys have those where you're from.
We did. Yeah, we had round tables here.
Yeah, and they always had arcade machines at Round Table Pizza. And one of my favorites to play there was Hydro Thunder. It was just such a fun game to play. So every time I see that game, it just takes me back to having dinner with my family at Round Table. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I played that, but honestly, it was like that Mortal Kombat thing, dude. And Blitz. That really was Midway for me.
Yeah. Blitz is fun. There's just so
Let's see the sold listings there, Matt. Blitz is
good point. Yeah, let's
somebody went in and bought some stuff. That Wipeout's a tough game for $199. Damn. Good deals.
Here, let me filter this by
Video games.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Did you guys see that Instagram post we put out a while back where we discern the print variations on Midway games? Like
I
where the
What do you
logo,
mean discern?
like you could tell, like you could tell prints apart by the logo design, the Midway logo design. And
no.
we actually found like three or four new variants for Midway games just based on the logo.
No, I don't think I saw that, but that's pretty neat.
Yeah. We posted that a while ago. It's been a
Yeah.
while.
Hmm.
I think I saw it. I didn't look too deep into what it was because that was fine, save. Oh my gosh.
Log into Facebook to continue.
No, I don't want to log into Facebook to continue. Just let me into Instagram.
That's not how it
Or
works, Matt.
you can go to the WATA pop report and then just go to N64 and then search like NBA hang tag or something.
Hmm.
Let's well, you said you
Retro game trader.
you
He's got the best shit,
if you
dude.
want to laugh.
He's my
Uh
favorite.
so what did you post it on here? Sorry.
Wada.
It's on the WATA page.
Like here?
He went
Mhm.
my Pix Bulbasaur as his starter Pokemon.
Yeah, you're gonna have to scroll quite a bit.
Oh,
Um, it's like pre socials redesign.
Oh man, you guys are clogging this shit up with CDs and DVDs. I can't believe this. Ugh. It's
What's wrong with that?
not a video game.
It's media, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm
Keep
out to
going, keep going.
okay.
Uh,
Hey, that's a nice game. Oh, never mind. New placeholders.
I think
It's
you've
gotta,
come too far.
well, no, we're getting close, I think. Keep going.
that's what she said.
That's what she said. That's true.
So it's gonna be one of those weird boxes with words and things.
Yeah, it's like a blue background, pretty sure.
Nice altered beast there. It's disgusting. It's gotta be right in here, right?
Some
Yeah,
old shiz.
somewhere right in there. You should see some Midway games.
Would it be before the Halo breakdown? I thought it'd be after.
Probably, maybe it was after.
Yeah, I think it was after.
Oh, wait. Go down a little bit. Okay, no, that's Killer Instinct.
Yeah, the Killer Instinct one's cool. There it
Oh,
is.
there it is, right there.
Right here.
Yeah.
I never saw this.
Look at
Oh yeah, maybe I saw this and I just didn't care.
look at who
Oh,
this is.
Wish you would have shared this before I dropped 3K on a Gretzky. Oh
That's
man.
awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Classic.
Sorry,
Classic Dan.
sorry, Dan.
Yeah.
Is this a
Well,
video?
speaking
Oh,
of that, Gretzky hockey is up for sale, so go get some money to that guy's family.
yeah, go bid 3K on it.
Do it.
So in this, you're saying that
See the logo on Gretzky there, Matt? The Midway logo on the
yeah,
bottom. Different.
got it.
One is earlier, one's later. That's what they're saying.
Got it. So the when it doesn't have the little this would be the earlier one then, Dan. I don't know if you can see that. If
Yep.
Yes. So if you you can track the basically like the history of like what logos were used, and you can see like early on they didn't have like the little icon, right? Or
yeah,
they
yeah, it
felt
wasn't
like it
there.
just been way. Yeah. So those would be the earlier ones, and then later on
They
they
added
started. Yeah.
okay. So if
Now,
it's
now does this exist on Super Nintendo with a game like NBA Hang Tab, or did it get one print and that was it?
Yeah, it looks like it was just on N64 in this time period because I did actually go back to Super Nintendo and I didn't see it on those.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe you
Yeah, I
didn't.
mean, I might have missed it, so you're welcome to do your own research, but that's what I had found. But it's pretty interesting because like once you figure out like that detail about a logo changing, it just literally unlocks variants for so many different games because you basically just go back to that publisher and you look at all the games for that publisher within that time frame and you're like, okay, well, it looks like it actually changed for all these different games, not just this one. So that's what happened here. I think I might have noticed it first on the hang time, and then I looked at some other games and I was like, okay, well, Trilogy also has this, Wayne Gretzky also has this, and that's all I had found. So
Huh.
yeah,
Yeah, Trilogy's a rare sealed game. So finding one of those just sealed, I guess, any version. It's interesting to
yeah,
think that they printed it once and then they reprinted it in a new box. But realistically, it was only a couple months later. So
Yeah, so
yeah.
these first prints would be pretty rare when you're looking at,
especially NBA Hang Tab. Think about that.
hang
Yeah,
tab.
let's look at the can you pull up the WATA pop report? Let's look up some of these and see what the difference in pops are.
Well,
For you
Trilogy's just rare.
N64.
Yeah.
And which one you want me to look at?
Let's try Trilogy, Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
So I'm guessing the second version's the manufacturing logo.
I believe so. Go back to the guide. It's been a while since I've looked at this. Midway Manufacturing. I believe Midway Manufacturing is the one without the logo.
Yeah, Midway
Yeah,
manufacturing
manufacturing.
logo is the one without. So Midway
Okay.
Games has the little logo. So that's
Okay.
going to be the later release.
Dude, literally zero. Is that what it says?
So the later
Yeah, for the
release,
later. So it looks like finding it's probably like the small jewels on something like Ridge Racer for PS1 where they're like, oh shit, let's do one more print run of this game and
Yeah.
oh, we got to change the logo, so here we go.
but
Yeah.
to
Isn't
be fair,
that's
Harder.
funny how it works, right? Like you would expect the first print to always be the rarer one, and it just
Yeah.
doesn't always happen that way.
It does. Yeah, it doesn't always happen that way. Like
Yeah.
to
at all.
to be fair, like when you figured this out, is it possible that some of these were already graded
Well,
before you discovered that
well,
variant?
if I know Dan, like I think I know Dan, he went back and looked at all the images to make
Ah,
sure that they are the right variant.
got it.
You know me too well, and that's why it takes us forever to do pop reports.
Speaking of, when is that next update coming?
I gotta go, guys. I'll see you guys next time. We're hoping to do an update early September, which
Okay.
is coming up very
So I should
soon.
send in all my labels for all the cracked games I've ever cracked so they can be removed.
You crack games? What's
Yeah,
wrong with you?
absolutely. Crack and resub, dude. Isn't that the PSA way?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just kidding. Get the grade you want. No. No, I've held on to labels for games that I've cracked over the years. I crack
Yeah,
games, clean stickers off, resub them. I have tons of stuff. I crack them and I cross them to VGA sometimes too. So, yeah.
No, you
yeah.
don't.
No, I don't.
So like Wayne
All
Gretzky's.
right.
So manufacturing logo is the first. Games is the second. So the second here, I mean, there's only 8 graded total anyway, but
Mhm.
the second version, there's only 2. So maybe Dan did buy the right one because it'd be the rarer one, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow. We learned something.
Dan Gomez, what's what's new in the world of variants? Anything? Oh, well, we got a CGC game here that
Well,
Dan,
I just wanted to touch on this because we've been
here's the
talking
gold
about,
Nintendo World Championship that WATA decided to not grade.
sorry,
And I'm
Dan.
just mean,
we were tracking where we thought this was going to land over under, and I don't think we covered it. So we just wanted to update and say, hey, it hit 207.4.
yep.
That's,
And the buyer's
Yeah, it's a
been very
real,
public about who bought this. I don't
yeah.
know if you
yeah,
guys,
yeah. He's a
Ryan
good friend of
Main,
mine.
yeah, Fire and Ice Games.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually recently got to visit his shop for the first time about a month ago. Dude, that shop is absolutely crazy. If you're ever in Northern California, like please do yourself a favor and just stop by because his store is like literally like Walmart status, like massive high ceilings. And like the thing about him though is that like he doesn't do anything half-assed. Like he will literally buy every, st huge statue that you can think of and just like put it in his store. He has this like massive mural of like video game characters where you can take pictures with um and he's such a good dude too. Like if you ever meet him in person or you know him personally, like Ryan's amazing. But yeah, stop by if you're ever in Northern Cali.
Yeah, that's Fire and Ice Games. That's the place. Ryan's a good guy. Matt and I got a little story about Ryan that not many people know, but Matt and I were in talks with a guy who had found a great Nintendo World Championship at a storage unit in Northern California. And at the time, we had no idea who Ryan was, and Ryan really wasn't, I guess, in the scene of like the retro gaming expo or somebody that we knew of up here in Oregon. And Matt and I were in talks to potentially buy this gray NWC, and it was a destroyed label, a labelless copy. So
I
Burnt
it's
remember that
one.
one.
very
It was a
fitting.
burnt one.
Yeah, it was very fitting that Ryan got this gold NWC without a label because the gray NWC that Ryan has doesn't have a label, but he ended up getting the game because he was local and the guy originally was going to drive it up to us in Eugene and we were
Yeah.
just going to split it at that point. I
Yeah.
think the
Yeah.
price tag was 10 grand, right, Matt, for the
Yeah.
label?
And so he took it to we said, but if the board is fried, the price is going to be like 3 grand, because if the boards or the chips are fried. And so he took it to a game store, lo and behold, to test it out because he didn't have a Nintendo. And little did we know,
It
but
was
it
it ended up
wasn't. What's that?
it ended up with Ryan.
Yeah, it ended up with Ryan because we basically talked the guy into testing the game at a game store, and the person there bought it. Son of a bitch, because he offered
All good.
$500 more than what we were offering, and I was like, "Well, I didn't even get a counter."
It's
But
all good. He
yeah,
didn't have
Oops.
to deal with it. Yeah. It's all good. But then we met Ryan at that Portland Retro Gaming Expo that year because it was in the summer of, was that 2018 or 19? 19.
yeah, it was right. It was it was 19
19.
because the following year COVID hit. So
Yep.
yeah,
We met him there and we are like, you're the dude who bought that. And we're like, holy cow. We
yeah,
were in the mix on that. And that was the first time we met Ryan. So
yeah.
yeah, good dude
And
for sure.
Yeah.
he's been at Portland almost every time since.
Yeah. We've seen him every time.
Yeah. Speaking of Portland, I'm assuming both of you are attending
Yeah.
this year.
We got the smallest booth that we've had at Portland since probably 2009, 10.
Wow.
So 3 tables.
Yeah, you guys usually go big. I mean, how big was your booth last year?
20 tables, but we gave a few to our buddy Christian.
Yeah, it was basically the biggest one you could get outside of like a custom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Might have
it's,
even been bigger than WATA's.
what's
It
that?
was.
Might have even been bigger than WATA's booth.
Yeah, but I do such a piss poor job at organizing the booth and maximizing the space that I figure I might as well just get 3 tables. So
Yeah. Well, honestly, what I liked about your booth is that it felt like it just felt like it felt a little bit more welcoming, like you could just dig through stuff. And that's what I like. Like that's why I like going to flea markets and stuff. Well, I haven't been in probably a couple of years, but just the I don't know, the experience of just digging through boxes and stuff like that is fun. And I know you had like a box full of like PC games, and I remember digging through that, and that was fun. So I don't know. I kind of like the way you have your booth set up.
Fine,
Yeah,
fine,
I don't know how our booth's gonna be set up this year. Maybe we're just gonna set our boxes out and do the same shit. So we'll see.
find the stuff we mispriced and gloat about it later.
Yeah, what did we have in there? We sold it. It was a Skyrim soundtrack. We had no idea the value on it. Remember that one, Matt? It was like a $200 soundtrack or some special order, something or other. The girl got it. She's like, I love Skyrim. She's like, what do you want for this? Wasn't priced. We're like $20. And then when she was buying it, we looked it up. We're like, oh man, you got a good deal,
Yikes.
lady.
Yeah.
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 So
Some of these soundtracks can be expensive, man. I was looking at some of the like Japanese like N64 original soundtracks. Man, they're expensive and they're hard to find too.
you know the wild west of soundtrack, video game soundtrack collecting exists in Kickstarter special bonus items that you would have got if you backed some random PC game. And that exists on a crazy level where there's no documentation on it. And you have to dig and find the old Kickstarter or whatever platform these people use, these indie games use to fund their games back in the day. And I think there was one I found, Matt, that there was no documentation on it that
Yeah,
we had
okay.
in this
You,
collection.
you want me to grab it? It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
great.
And I like had to dig down, find the original crowdfunding site that they did it on. And it was like if you were in the one of 15 people to pledge this amount, you got a physical copy of the soundtrack.
Wow.
So yeah, that does exist. And to me, that's kind of a neat thing. Which
Yeah,
one
that's
is? I don't
awesome.
even remember what the hell it is.
Yeah, it's this
It's a Dead Fire. Yeah,
sorry,
by
it's trying to get this light out of it.
Nice.
Yep. So
That's cool.
yeah, and the only way you could get it is if you backed the crowd funding site. That
Yeah,
is
that's gotta be super rare. Is that sealed?
no, it's not.
Um,
I don't know if they were sealed. Like there was I don't even know what I wrote on there, but there was a bunch of this shit in this collection we got, and we didn't even know how to look it up or price it. So
Yeah.
stand
Yeah.
standalone physical CD is limited, released as a reward to campaign hackers on Fig.
backers, campaign
Oh,
backers.
campaign backers on. It looks like
Fig.
yeah, it's Fig, but
Fig was the crowdfunding for the site that where it's like a
okay,
Kickstarter, but Fig was the platform they used to
okay,
crowd. So yep.
wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So go find all those OSTs that um, exist for crowdfunded video games where they made 15 physical copies. Because you
How
can go
about
and
those
download that soundtrack. Anybody can, but getting a physical one, impossible.
how about those Halo soundtracks?
Yeah, you can go get them. They exist.
You got, Matt, you have some, right? Or
Mhm.
one of you has some.
Yeah, I got about 30 of each, I think.
I got a couple.
Nice. I think the Reach one, isn't the Halo Reach one pretty hard to find out of all of them?
Oh, four.
Halo 4.
Halo 4 is
Halo
tough
4 is the rare soundtrack.
because it's the greatest, and so it sold out the most.
No, it's on a different record. At least Halo 4.
Wait, it's on a different record. It's not something else music works.
Nope,
It's something else.
different label did Halo 4.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Huh.
it was it. I don't even. I might have gotten one in
I
that.
only have one sealed one, and the I bought what the guy had. He had three of them. One came open, one was definitely resealed, and one was sealed.
Yeah.
So, and then there's the silver one that I sent you, Matt. Do you have that?
The what?
The DVD style soundtrack that people don't really know about, the trilogy soundtrack.
I want to see that.
I'd have to see an image just to.
No, it's like a big, it looks like a standard PC big box game or like a semi big.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, Dan, do you remember back when everybody was looking for a display, Halo display, and sometimes it would come with the DVD or CD that was in like the long cardboard, and it just had the hold clip in the middle. I've got one somewhere. They
Dude,
used
No,
to
the
be
one I
like,
literally
sent
have
you last year,
one.
Matt.
they
Christmas
used
time.
they used to be like $20, and then they
Yeah,
just
I have one
skyrocketed.
like somewhere here. I know. Are they
Uh,
are they going up in price?
I'm talking about something different.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, that soundtrack I sent you at Christmas time. Yeah,
Where
you're
would I
having a brain fart.
where would I
I'll go grab one.
put
I'll be
that?
right back. It's
If
all
I
good.
if I had
I'm
more
gonna go
room,
get it.
I would know where half the stuff is.
That's okay. It's
But
okay.
I don't I
I'll
think
bring
I
it.
might know where I put that, Josh. Yeah, my Halo display area is kind of packed in. I don't
Yeah, I want to get like a video tour of your game room. I've only seen like frames of it, you know.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, you should upload a video sometime and just do like a full like video game tour, video game room tour.
I will. I will. You're the first to ask, so I'll do it. Yeah, if I spun my laptop right now, I've got like 5 cords plugged into it, so it probably wouldn't be a good idea, but
All right, I got it here. All right. This one, Matt.
that is a T for teen poster. I do want to say that, Dan. I can show you that.
That's rare as heck.
Yeah, good luck finding that.
That's the one I'm talking about, Matt. I sent you.
I've seen that one. So where's that one from? How could you get that one?
Who are you talking to?
You sent me a copy of that?
I sent you a copy of Christmas.
For real?
Is that a retail or is that a special edition?
That's retail.
Really? That's sick.
Yep. So it's a Halo
Nice.
trilogy complete original soundtrack. So
I'm gonna have to
pretty
find
tough.
that. I need to
Mhm.
know where I put that.
Yeah, here's
I,
the Halo 4 soundtrack. 7HZ is the record label.
interesting.
Mm-hmm. So Halo 4 is the rare one.
Actually, question, Dan, since you're on here and you're the man who would know, how many this is just random, how many uh shrink seals have you seen on Amped or any of the, I mean, we obviously know what Halo 2 had shrink, but I had never
Yeah.
seen one on Amped before this.
Oh
And
man, I don't know if we've seen one with shrink. Um, if we have, it's not very common, that's for sure. Are there vent holes on that?
yep, there's a they've got the tractor vent holes on the front.
Yeah.
What's the serial? Is it later? Like the
It
this
is here, do you want me to just read it off?
Yeah, yeah.
It's well, it's obviously 99991 005 432
hmm,
and 005. So that would have been a slightly later.
that is later.
Yeah. It's not super late, but it's basically in line with when all the launch copies released. Um,
Would it make sense that it would have the shrink, or is this maybe an aftermarket shrink? I mean, I know at least that is sealed,
yeah, yeah. I mean,
and it's
it's
such a
possible.
it's a cheap game, so why would you? Or I can
Yeah. I
send it
mean,
in and you can look. What's that?
yes, possible. I mean, I remember the really odd one you sent me. By the way, I still have that. It's like in my desk drawer.
I was
Do you remember
wondering.
the little security like thing in the case?
Yeah, yeah, the little
Yeah, I
push
still
tab.
have that. Yeah, yeah,
I was wondering. I was like, man, where did I put that? I thought he sent it back.
yeah, I have it.
Not in his desk. All right.
Yeah.
Is it?
Josh, do you know which one I'm talking about?
No.
Would you
Okay,
say?
so
Would you say it's authentic or no,
dude, I don't know. I haven't seen another one since
Eric?
you sent me.
Because wasn't it because it's gray and it has the NFR?
Uh, I mean, there's that, but then also like the spine. Okay, so like you guys will know, like some keep cases will have a security. Let me show you this, for example. They'll have like a little notch here
Mhm.
to manipulate the security device, right? Well, the copy that Matt had still had that like security device like stuck to the case, like it was in the case.
Mhm.
Mm.
Uh, so it was just really odd, and it was wasn't it? It was sealed, right?
It was sealed, but it was the like the silver case, but it had the was it not for resale? Because that's why I saw it. I was like, and not for
Yeah.
resale silver case. I was like, what is? But I guess he doesn't care if I tell you. Eric got one that was also silver with the NFR, and he's like,
Hmm.
I just got this. Have you ever seen this before? And I was like, yeah, I don't know where mine is, but I have one somewhere. And then if you have it, maybe I'll have Eric send his in so you can look at it.
Yeah. So go ahead and send it over. Just put in the notes like attention Dan Gomez, and then my team will flag it for me, and I can take a look at it.
Okay, let me just tell him real quick. So I
Stupid
remember.
Xbox, man.
Stupid Xbox. Why is there a Beanie Baby and a WATA holder back there?
You guys graded it. I don't know, man. You guys.
Hey, what the hell? Can I see that?
No, I put it in there. I just Anthony, our buddy down in Florida, sent me a Beanie Baby. He runs the arcade light. He makes these cool arcade lights. You put them in your room. They're like a nightlight. So you're having a kid, perfect nightlight for your child, right?
Nice.
Swap these out. You turn the lights off and they flicker on. They're pretty cool. They have different marquees for them. He
That's
sent
cool.
me the Beanie Baby because I was making fun of you guys grading Funko Pops. No, that's not the
Oh,
reason.
fun.
That's not. I was
Make sure you send me the cert number so I can update the cert in cert verification.
Oh
And I can
yeah,
put
I'm
currently
happy to send
holds
you.
Beanie Baby.
Yeah, I'm happy to send you these Karate Champ cert numbers that you guys opened and marked as NS that had black and white manuals.
I didn't
So
open anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
just saying. That's not a factory seal. Factory sealed on those Data East games are tube seam, rigid
So
plastic.
so you're saying you're grading Funko Pops now then?
Yeah, WATA isn't. That's under
PSA?
PSA.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I was gonna say that'd be a weird size case.
No,
Okay.
WATA is grading games, film,
Media.
music.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just yeah, media in general. It's so weird like film like I don't know. We've definitely gotten more submissions for film than I thought. It's even beaten like a lot of consoles that we get in.
Wow.
Um yeah, like it's like I forget what the rank is, like if we ranked all the consoles that we get in for grading, but film is like up there.
DVD
Um
style case type.
DVD, yeah, DVD, Blu-ray. So I don't know. People like it, man. I mean I have a few to submit. I haven't submitted any yet, but I do have a first print Scream on DVD. It took me like a couple months to find one. I gotta send that in for grading.
Is it a snap case? How that wouldn't be a snap case, would it?
Yeah, it is. No, it's not your snap. Your typical Warner Brothers snap.
Yeah.
It's the little tab snap.
It's just an old keep case style case.
Uh,
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second.
yeah, I still have all of mine that I was grabbing.
Did you boot Dan yet for talking about DVDs and CDs?
Anyway, he hasn't fully said CD.
That's all good.
The minute he mentions Britney Spears, he's gone though.
You guys are haters.
You know what? I would take a sealed Britney Spears first album.
Heck yeah. Baby one
Hit me.
more time. Or was that what it was? Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah. Song about domestic violence, I think. God. I'm really sorry. I'm not. That was a bad joke. That wasn't even a joke.
Josh, we were canceled a long time ago. Trust me.
Yeah. It was originally written by Tina Turner. And
I think it's like double jeopardy. I don't think you can get canceled twice. I don't know.
I am like, probably shouldn't tell women jokes either on here, but I might.
Yeah, let's not. Here, let me show you this though. So there's
Just kidding. I'm messing around.
let me show you this.
No, it's not.
So the way you know on DVD particularly, because it's different for VHS, of course, but like this widescreen banner
Mhm.
is usually going to be either the first or like an earlier print of the DVD.
Really?
Uh, yeah, and then also for Buena Vista specifically, there's this part number at the bottom. It's going to be super hard to see, but it says, see where it says -1?
Yep.
Mhm.
Right.
The 139 or 13070-1 or whatever that 139
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So they will update that with like subsequent prints.
Like
So
dash two, dash three.
-2, -3, etc. So
Huh.
on DVD particularly, that's how you can sort of keep track of different prints.
Well, that's pretty
But
simple.
yeah, it's pretty
Simple
cool.
until it's not. Yeah.
So you're
Yeah, there's
saying,
always something that comes out and then you're just throws your whole research for a loop, right?
So did they? I gotta imagine that when Scream came out on DVD, that many people still had nice old CRTs and a 4:3 aspect ratio. So is it for certain that this didn't get released in this particular case simultaneously with a full screen version of the movie?
Not that I've seen. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I don't know everything there is to know about DVD. I think like for me, I'm still learning and we're kind of learning as we go in terms of like
Yeah.
the print runs. I think the information is pretty scarce. So a lot of the times, like that's why we have a research department. So when these items come in, they're already researched before they even get to authentication. So then the authenticator then checks the seal and that sort of thing. But it's pretty cool, man. Like for me, sometimes it feels like you've already researched like everything there is to know about video games, and you kind of feel like you've hit like a dead end in a lot of ways, even though it's not true, right? We all know that there's still plenty of variants to be discovered.
right.
But with film, like it's such uncharted territory for most of the stuff. And obviously you have folks who are very dedicated that collect VHS and but I feel like for DVD specifically and Blu-ray, there isn't that many resources out there compared to VHS.
Yep.
So yeah, we're just figuring it out. Just
Yeah.
research and stuff.
So you're saying
DVD.
like a non-widescreen version would have maybe a dash two. Does that make
Um,
sense?
It wouldn't make
so
sense
so
to me.
it could still be widescreen, but the thing is that they stopped using this widescreen
The
banner.
banner. Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Or they
So
Yeah.
made a flip disc like a lot of the Warner Brother discs where
the double.
it's widescreen and standard aspect ratio, the 4:3 aspect
Because
on the
I
other
know I
side.
have a Scream DVD, but I'm sure it doesn't have that banner on the front. So then it would be like a dash two, dash three. Um, that's kind of what I was asking. So okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you could look at any Buena Vista film, like for example, The Waterboy, um, and the first print of Waterboy or the early print has that widescreen banner, so it's consistent among every like Buena Vista Entertainment film. So
Interesting.
it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Now we know.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Yeah, DVDs get treated like modern video games. So nobody cares, and eventually they will.
Yep. What else you got?
That's it.
Other than a rad mustache.
That's it. Actually, no, I lied. Here, give me a second. Josh, I know you're gonna like this, and stop pretending that you don't, but um, so I got these from Nostalgia Alley locally. These
Mhm.
are tech
Yeah, I like
support
that shit a lot.
copies. Here's the cool thing though. Whatever employee traded these in must have worked for the company for many years because there are actually variants of the tech support label that are pretty consistent throughout the year. So you could tell like right around when they changed the label. For example, here's one from 98. See that it's like a
Yeah.
brother like thick label. this green label. And then at some point, they changed it to this one, and this is what, 99. It's also like a P-Touch like label type thing.
Yeah.
But then later on, and this is 2002, now there's this huge label that they used.
Man, it's whatever Karen had with the Avery printer at that point in time.
Exactly. But it is like, because I have a
What
ton of these.
Linda had, right, Matt?
Yeah, it's Linda.
Linda.
Call
Yeah.
Linda.
Yeah.
Eric, call Linda.
Yeah. But it's pretty interesting to see because like I have probably 30 or 40 different sports games, mostly EA, but also 989 Sports that have these labels. And I like just put them in a spreadsheet and like you can see the progression of like, okay, 98 in 97, 98, they use the green label, 99, 2000, they use the white label, and then like 2000 and forward, they use that bigger label. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's probably what they had around, but over the years, apparently they changed equipment or ways of doing things, you know. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you say 989 sports also?
Yeah,
So
989
that's not
Sport.
even EA. That's interesting.
Yeah,
So that would have been, were they call it, was EA doing technical support for Sony?
I'm assuming that this wasn't EA support or 989 or 989 specifically. I think this was like Sony support, maybe
Sony
like
support.
PlayStation, like
Sony
PlayStation
computer
support.
entertainment support. Yeah.
Yeah,
Weird. That's interesting. Yeah, I would definitely buy that shit if I saw it.
That's right up Josh's alley.
Yes, it is. Hmm.
That's awesome.
I'm a little jealous, actually. I'm gonna go save search something now.
good.
Uh, what do you got? What do you got for wins, people?
Josh, let's see it.
I gotta look around my room, see what I bought recently. Just you guys go first. I got another. I showed you everything last time, Matt.
Are you growing your hair out? What's going on back there?
It's already.
Damn.
Yeah,
Is that a
Bringing it,
mullet?
it's bringing it
it
back.
is. Baby.
That's
Mississippi,
awesome.
I got rid
Miss,
of the sideburns. Never done that in my life. And
That's awesome. Looks
there you
good.
go. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I went to a service for a family member who passed away recently, and my aunt was there, and she's like, "Oh, something's different about your hair." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm growing it out in the back." She's like, "No, you're losing it." I'm like, "Man, you're so mean."
wow.
Yeah, she's
Thanks.
just not really.
I
Uh,
I got I
just
got I got something you'll like, Dan.
Okay.
I
You already
got something you'll like.
you already kind of know I have it, but I did, here's the case, but I do have
You bastard.
yeah. But but
Yeah, I'm gonna need that. How much shipped?
but not to not to be mean or anything. Ugh.
Gonna rub it in some more.
Well, I have something else I
That's what
have, and
she's.
I've been holding it to wait and share it, but I kind of found another one too.
Oh,
Oh, damn, dude.
you would. You would.
Sorry.
Mm.
You know, that's like one of the few Halo items that I never found when I was collecting Halo heavily.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking when it popped. I was like, do people know what they're looking at here? Because maybe I'm just crazy, but this was impossible to find when I collected.
It is, man. Like I've had the betas, the beta discs. I've had like the marketing gold discs, like literally every disc that you can think of, and that's one that I just could not get my hands on for
Well,
some
well,
reason.
well, now you just need to come up with some trade bait, and you know where it is.
Here, I got something for you. This
Uh-oh.
is super rare. They're definitely
That's not
they're
Halo
definitely not
4.
they're not common at all. These go for about $7,000 raw.
Oh, well, we should make a trade.
Yeah, definitely.
If that was Halo 4, I'd consider it. Um, I got
Probably
one.
the only thing worthwhile collecting in Halo 4 World is the
It's
soundtrack.
it's funny because I only had one of these when we were going to have you on, and then there was a delay, and that's when the other one popped. And I thought Eric
Nice.
was going to buy it, and he said no. And but actually, I've been holding on to this forever and waiting for you to come on so we could actually finally show it. It's gonna be one of my biggest Halo pieces personally,
Oh God.
and I have to thank you, obviously.
Oh, there you go.
So
Hell yeah.
the people who did see it on Facebook, yes, I made a deal and got it and split with somebody else. I don't think I can say who the somebody else was, so I got one and they got the other.
Well, it wasn't me because I definitely did not get one.
But can you explain what that is a little bit so people know? Because you might be
Yeah,
able to explain it better than me, I guess.
definitely. You're making me miss that piece already, man. Um, so I'll give you a little backstory on how I acquired that. So, a friend of mine who lives in the Central Valley in California, basically alerted me to a Craigslist post from SoCal where someone was selling a signed Shenmue 2 poster. I think they were asking like $500 for it or something, 400, something like that. And he's like, "Hey, you might like this. It's Xbox related." So I ended up messaging her, and I said, "Do you have anything else?" And she says, "Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff in storage." And um, she said, "Give me a few days to head down to my storage, and I'll take a look and see what's there." So give her a couple days. She went in there and took pictures of all the posters she had. Those two Halo posters were in there, everything signed. She had a bunch of Microsoft posters that were super rare, all signed, personalized to her. And apparently, she was the PR manager for Microsoft back in
Wow.
the early 2000s.
Uh,
And she held an office in downtown LA, where those posters that poster that you have there was displayed in her office, and that's why they came pre-framed.
Yeah.
Um, so they definitely have some pretty significant provenance and history to them. And yeah, I mean, she was telling me all the stories about how she went to parties with all these like celebrities in the, and it's just I don't know, like the whole thing. Like she showed me pictures that I've never seen before, as you know, like I was digging up like Xbox history and researching, and like she showed me stuff that I've never seen before.
Wow.
And just yeah, so apparently she had those two posters signed at the national championship during the live event when they were broadcasting it.
Wow.
Uh, and I don't know that any others exist. So those might be the only two.
Wow. Well, I thank you a lot. Um, yeah.
wait, you got that from Dan?
Yeah. He
Oh,
was hiding his he was he was hiding who was selling them. And so I was talking through another seller and they were saying they knew me and I was like, "Who is this person?"
sons of
then
bitch.
then finally he texted me and yeah.
I did get something. Um,
Thank you, Dan, by the way. You
Yeah,
know
of course.
you
It
know
went
where
to a
it's
good
at.
home.
You know where it's at. So
Yeah. Well, I went to a good home, and sometime when I'm in your neck of the woods, sometime I'll have to come and visit and give it a little hug.
anytime. Anytime you're in town, take out for dinner and good sea bass dinner and never call you again.
Steve Aston.
Hopefully get
So I
back.
did pick something up that I don't think I've shared.
What do
Uh,
you got?
it's really neat. It's in the Atari 7800 world, so nobody cares. However, Atari just announced that they're releasing the 7800 plus system, and so how fitting to share this. So, as many people know, 7800 games they come with this big old red logo of the 7800 on the front. There was earlier releases than that, and here's a Galaga I pulled off eBay. Its logo's black, no barcode. It's got a big old rip on the back, but it does have a store price sticker. There's some debate, and the box is 1986, right? There's some debate on when the 7800 launched, if there was a test market for it, and all this shit. And there's other earlier boxes that have been found that have a completely different design. But finding 1986 released 7800 games is very rare. I don't think people really know that. This game is not sealed, but I do have a Robotron here, not the black logo. I don't know if one exists, but it is an 86 release as well. And
Nice,
also
nice.
this, which is sealed, this Dig Dug is also an 86, and they were sealed with little bits of tape. I think you've seen those on Atari games before, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So super, super uncommon to find 86 release on some 7800 games. And if you see any
Yeah.
more of these black logoed ones, I'd love to get them from you. So,
I love the
and
tape sealed ones.
yeah, and the
Uh,
art matches the 86 year on it as well as the
nice.
manual. So, uncommon shit.
Did you say tape sealed?
Yeah, they're literally sealed with 2 pieces of tape.
Do you remember me calling you, Josh, like super early on? And I was like, dude, what is this?
Wow.
See that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 3M made this case sealer, and they probably still make it. And what it is it's a taper like this for like little pieces of Scotch tape. And what you would do is you'd push the item in, and it would go clip, clip. So it'd hit it on both ends like that. And it's going to pull them to the side. So if the person put it at an angle, it's going to go across cattywampus like that. So they're legit. It's not like someone sat there and hand applied them. They were hand applied with a machine, which is an interesting tidbit as well. So
So basically
pretty
Yeah.
cool
never
items.
you're never going to get a 10 with one of those games because you're sitting there sliding a cardboard box against
Probably not.
something.
Yeah. Yep. And not all Atari games are packaged that way. You know, some are just glued at the top. You know, this Robotron is sealed, but the glue is absolutely failing up there,
Mhm.
right? And it's holding on a little better down there, but
They did that
yeah.
a lot.
7800 is the sleeper system to hunt weird variants for that nobody's really explored very well, or and there's no documentation on it. So if you're into hunting for variants, learning new things, discovery, and all that shit, go look at the Atari 7800. Not a super large library, could be completed. Some rare games, but yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
I think the most bizarre game, or like the most bizarre Atari game that I've had to research from an authenticity perspective was Atlantis 2. I'm sure
Oh
you
yeah.
know
Mhm.
all about that.
Yep.
Because we've gotten, I think, two now. Um,
CIB or just card only?
CIB.
Wow.
And yeah, and the second one we got was particularly difficult because well, as you know, they're easily faked because it's the way in which they're labeled is pretty archaic. But the font style that the second one came in was different from the first one, and it differed from other known examples. And so I had to go through this massive rabbit hole research project to figure out, okay, why is the font different on the label, right? Um, and it took me forever, but I was finally able to figure out that they must have had two different typewriters at that time to be able to print different, because the text on some of their other correspondence, on some of the marketing behind it, also had that same different font that the second copy had. So
Huh.
that was crazy. That took a lot, but it was fun. It was definitely fun to do. But those are tricky.
So they were both authentic in
They
the
were both
end.
authentic, but I was thinking the second one wasn't because of the difference in the font. Um, but I received I got some help on that one and was able to figure it out.
So for the layman person that, because I hear it all the time, I see posts all the time, mainly obviously in like Atari collectors.
Yeah.
It, if somebody's looking to decipher what between, an Atlantis and Atlantis 2, what's the normal person out there gonna want to look for? You don't have to give away like your secrets if you have
Yeah.
any, but how are we to determine, hey, this is it and this one isn't? Like what, I know some of those answers, but I think it'd be good for people on on the show to know.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're looking at, right? So for the Atlantis 2 cart specifically,
Hmm.
we literally had to plug that in and play it to see that to make sure it had the correct I guess you just call them sprites to make sure the scoring was correct, the scoring increments were correct. Because for Atlantis 2, they were different from the retail game.
It's like
So
1 point versus 2 points. Is that?
yeah, so it's like from the gameplay perspective, it's different. So we had to verify it from that perspective. But do you mind Googling real quick Atlantis 2 and then
Yeah.
just pull it up?
Yep.
You'll see the label that I'm talking about.
Here, let me share my screen and then we'll do it
It's a
that
pretty
way.
generic label. So
Oh, we didn't read comments yet. Don't let me forget
yeah, we
that.
might not have very many, Matt. We don't have
Yeah, there's not a lot, but
Atlas 2. You misspelled that there, buddy.
It's Atlantis. There you
Yeah,
go.
got it.
And then just go to images. I'm sure you'll find a complete and bot. What the hell?
You just get started, but need to. There you go.
There, that's a good one. Yeah. So you see that label on the front of the box.
the Atlantis too.
Yeah. So that's literally the only difference. That's what makes that box an Atlantis 2 box.
Oh, I
Um,
see. So you're saying that the font here was different on one versus the
yeah,
other.
right.
Ah, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And it was minor, very minor. So at first glance, they look the same, but when you look close, the accents on the font were different. Like you could see that the styling of it is different.
Got it. So
Um,
Yeah, that's it.
and just for the general person that doesn't know, the box without this sticker, the box is the same as the regular release. This is the same as the regular release. The only difference is the board inside, and then of course this
All,
one
almost, Matt.
almost.
There are well, there's multiple releases of Magic Atlantis, right? There's
Yep.
different revisions, but there's a daytime and a nighttime. So this is a nighttime. Nighttime boxes are what they use for Atlantis too.
Okay.
yeah.
Same with the
So
cart, nighttime
same with the
cart.
car. Yeah. Yeah. So if you look at other copies of Atlantis, you'll see one where it's like the daytime and not night. So,
Okay. So that's guaranteed not to be in Atlantis too, would be my.
well, we say that, but you never know what gets discovered in the future. So,
But like you guys were
Yeah.
saying, you actually have to plug the card in and see if it scores. The challenge card is the 1 point, and then if it's a regular card, it's 2 points. Is that how that
I think
works?
it's 100. Is it 100 points? Josh, I don't remember. It's
I
been
don't know. I'm not gonna pretend to know either because I've never played Atlantis 2. But that's what it looks like from a collecting standpoint.
Oh, there it is. So, yeah, increments of one maybe, and then the other one maybe five.
Yeah.
I'd have to read through it again. I don't remember, but there's also, I know people say you can weigh the carts to see like which one is which, but we didn't find that to be too reliable and didn't want to rely on that. So we plugged it in and played it.
Yeah, because they were
And then
saying,
there's a game like BMX Air Masters, Matt, like we were talking
oh
about with
my
Eric,
God.
where literally the variant is plugging the game in to see if you have the NTSC version versus the PAL
Yeah,
version.
I want to pull that up.
Yeah, just type in BMX Air Masters NTSC.
I'm just going to pull up the cart. So, oh, it's not even going to show me there. Gosh,
It's the R10. Yeah. I mean, it looks like that. All right. But the majority of these that exist are PAL region. At
yeah.
least
So how were you saying that US would be different than PAL?
well, that one has an N on the top of the box, so you have an NTSC box there. That's pretty interesting. I've never seen that. But the ROM on the cartridge um is different
Oh,
than
because the
it
frame
plays
rate. It's
the
because
frame rate. Yes. Because one
PAL
is
PAL is 50 hertz and
59 and 60.
and US is 60. So if you were to plug a PAL cart into a US, it would scroll.
Yeah, it wouldn't work correctly. So
Yeah.
this did exist in NTSC form, but it this was after who released it before? TNT. They had the rights to BMX Airmasters or Airmaster, and then Atari some got it, and the majority of them that exist are European copies. And then there were some from the US as well. And it's exceptionally ungodly rare to find an NTSC copy.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
there
Just
you go.
crazy variants.
Yeah,
Yeah, Atari's fun.
Atari's a real bitch. Go get them.
That's
Yep, yep.
that's crazy that you actually have to play it to figure it out. So you could essentially never have a sealed copy and say
But just
oh, this is NTSC.
just think about how many variants are still out there that might exist that you don't know until you play the game, right? Like there might be some crazy variant out there for Super Mario 2 that we don't know because we
Yeah.
haven't found it in the ROM or something, you know. I mean,
Well,
it's just a pretty bold example, but I mean, like
yeah.
on NBA Jam, you can tell because it's on the box, like which version it is because of what box it came in, right? So, but there's probably countless others out there where there's ROM revisions.
Moonwalker.
Yeah, Moonwalker, right?
Yeah, yeah. I did so much research on that one and was trying to because we discovered that there were two different boxes, right? And we're
Mhm.
like, oh, maybe this is it. Like we figured it out. Like there's two boxes, there's two different revisions of the board, and one of them has the song omitted. Was it Beat It? What song was it that they took out? Um,
Oh, um,
I don't
I,
know what the song
I
is.
literally just had it in my head.
Is it Beat It?
No, no, I thought it was
Thriller. Was it Thriller?
I thought it was controversial because it was about that gal. Um,
No, I
Billy.
think they lost licensing or something. They didn't have the licensing
Oh, it's
or
not. So it's
something.
not Billie Jean.
Maybe. I don't remember. I did do it. If you go to I don't know if that's in there. I don't think it's in there. I never figured it out because I couldn't correlate the board revision to the box. Like it was too inconsistent.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
so the box wasn't a factor necessarily.
Well, you know what the
mhm.
factor is? It's the carts with the upside down label are the first ones. Fun
On
fact.
Moonwalker.
Mhm.
So you're saying you could never know in a sealed copy if it's first print or not.
That I don't know, but I know that carts with upside down labels on Moonwalker, every time I've seen one, it's the first print.
And the second print would have been without whatever song it is because they lost the licensing.
Yes.
Okay. So they
It's
removed
it's Billie Jean.
they removed a song that was in the first and it's not in the second. Is that correct?
Hmm. Somebody told me that it was also that it was only the first print of it was only released, I want to say, at Montgomery Ward. Like that was the only place that got the shipment of them. Some weird shit like that.
Wonder how they figured that out.
I don't know.
Just another one of those people making up
Hearsay.
stories.
It's well worth internet lore shit, right? Anyway, yeah,
Blow through these.
yeah, we don't really have many comments, I'm
Not
sure.
many comments. These might be slightly. Yeah. Obviously, our last video was the unfortunate passing of Dan. You know, we were going to have Dan Kaplan on this show, but he couldn't make it because he's dead. Now, you guys might laugh at that and somebody might be gawking at that, but that was a request from Dan. I just want you to know he requested that I said that. Just letting you know. I've been holding that one back. So there
Oh
you go.
man. That
He
that
he he
He
asked
did.
for that, and when he said that, I was like, "Son of a bitch, he's in bad shape."
Yeah.
But he was funny enough to still want me to tell that joke.
Yeah.
I was
oh
like, "You son
God.
of a bitch."
That's classic Dan, man. Like
I know.
I still remember I was like going back through my messages with Dan and I hadn't realized how far back we've been talking. Like we were talking before I even got hired on at WATA. Uh, and he like hit me up randomly on Instagram because he saw that all the Xbox research that I was doing. He was like, "Hey, you want to look at my he's like, "Hey, do you mind taking a look at my sealed Halo Combat Evolved NFR?" And that's when I was doing the research on the Canadian copies. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out like, okay, is there a Canadian version of it with the NFR? How can you tell? All that stuff. And he was very instrumental in helping me with that research. He was providing me photos and holding up Xbox game to a light to see like the structure of the keep cases. And so him and I worked very closely on that project. And unfortunately, we still don't have a conclusion on it fully. But maybe in Dan's name, someday I'll figure it out.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these comments obviously are going to be in relation to that show. So, but there's not that many, so it shouldn't get too.
So yeah, Timmy J says respect for showing emotions in the episode. Yeah, it's hard, man. Watching that video is rough.
Yeah, the video was yeah.
Just gets you, man.
Um, is that Eric Niemeyer? There you
Yeah,
go.
it's Eric Nyerman.
Eric Nyerman, sorry.
Yeah, DDS.
Rip Dan. What a great guy and a true collector. I will be bidding on these. Awesome.
Yeah, get into it. It's not Eric Nyerman DDR. I don't think he was a DDR fan. So,
DDS, dentist.
oh, that's what that means. Okay.
I'm not going to hit reply on here so Eric gets mad later. Hit reply.
Kivar the Barbarian says, sending big love to Dan's family and to you all. He seemed like such an amazing guy. I love seeing his comments in the collecting hobby. Endless zingers, positivity and support. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Dan, you want to read some?
Sure. Rip to Dan Kaplan. You guys are world class. Condition upgrade.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Dan, go follow Condition Upgrade on Instagram. If you don't, maybe you do. The dude pulls he was pulling out Xbox variants that nobody had seen before, so
Really?
big
I'll take a look
upset.
at that.
Yeah, he had like a 2K7 Shack variant with a card with it. I'd never seen it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I follow him. Oh yeah, I follow condition upgrade.
Yeah.
OGCIB, much respect for this video, Rip Dan. Thank you so much.
Oh, one of our other favorite Canadians out there, Marty the One Man Party, says, I never talked to Dan, but I wish I did. He sounds like a great Canadian. Yeah. I mean, that's not hard to be the best Canadian, but he was. Um, Also, Josh, if you think the HA description for an item is badly written, talking about Dan's N64 controller, yes, I do think it's badly written. You can always message them about it and they will modify it. Hopefully, I didn't message them, but hopefully they watch my video to see how pissed I am. I did that with Mass Sticker Super Mario Bros. From the Dallas Fort Worth collection because they did not mention that it was a no date manual. That's good. Yeah. I think that's sound advice. I should reach out instead of just bitching about it, but I'm going to stand on my soapbox and complain about that because that is a piece that people should go after. Um, Dan, did you see that? The Nintendo 64 Millennium controller that's at Heritage?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it briefly.
And it's got the hand, the trophy hand that's
Yeah.
unreal. They made 12 of. So
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen one pop up. I think the last time I saw one was maybe 4 years ago.
mhm.
On
Been a
Golden.
while.
No, there was one on Reddit before
Oh,
that popped up, and that was about 4 years ago.
oh, why don't we have Dan read this one? That's perfect for him.
Sorry, I'm choking here. Has WATA or CGC announced Decap's 82 pedigree or name collection yet? I honestly, personally, I would love that. Um, I would love to explore that. I got to talk to Claire and see if that's something we can do. But honestly, it did cross my mind. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, something to honor.
Yeah.
Honor collectors, a big deal in my opinion. So, um, I'm sure CGC and Kenneth would probably look at it the same way too. Now, I know that VGA, they probably say, no, we didn't come up with it, so we're not going to recognize it. So,
Yeah.
and then Blockbuster late fees apparently showed up first before anybody else.
And that's it.
That's it.
Quick and easy.
I think that's it. Yeah,
I'm
that's what she
glad
said.
that could have gotten um
And
yeah.
we'll revisit those next week too, if people comment on it, because we put it up yesterday. So
Yeah, we kind of skipped over some Dan Kaplan stories. We were obviously not, just putting together a video, something like that when you're doing it kind of on the fly too. A lot of
I think
times you,
that's okay though, Matt. Like they'll come and go as we continue on this road of Podcastville. So
yeah. But
Hey Matt,
Dan,
do you want to share with people the the whole comment war with
I was
with
just
you
gonna,
and
I was gonna bring that up because you were the moderator at that point. You tell the story because you have a better perspective of it. Well, I can say, okay, I can say why I was doing that to begin with, and then you can take it from
Yeah,
there.
I
Okay,
still don't
so
even know why fully, so I'd love to hear it.
okay, so so I saw we would obviously troll. WATA was just starting to post more on social media. They never really did early on to begin with, like Facebook and stuff. And I knew uh, Dan and Claire were kind of on that, but Dan mostly at that time. And I noticed that when I was looking at some of the posts that Dan Kaplan had this little award thing. I was like, what is that? He had like top contributor or something, or he had this dime. I don't even remember what it was. And I was like, that's
I think it was
BS.
top. I think it was like top fan or like something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, that's BS. So I went through all of every single post they had and commented on everything. And then even commented on people's comments. And then all of a sudden I had the award. And so and Dan's like, what's this BS? And you could take it from there. Not you, Dan. Dan Kaplan said, what's this BS?
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious because like at the time I was still getting notifications for like every post when someone would make a comment on Facebook. So like I just like wake up to like a huge list of like Matt Rose commented on blah blah blah. Matt Rose commented, Matt Rose commented. I would just be scrolling and it was just like Matt Rose commented. And then eventually it was like you and Dan just like to see like seeing who could comment first every time we made a post.
Yeah, I was
that's
like, the
awesome.
post is out. I'm gonna beat him.
Yeah.
And then I started feeling bad because he would never trash talk me. He'd just be like, "Oh, good job. Oh, good job." He just like killed me with kindness. And I was like,
You're
"This
like, oh,
sucks."
sorry, I beat you this time, Matt.
So I just stopped, and then he obviously went on to be world champion. It got his little.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he complained as to why I was was top, and then I wanted to guess that you removed my badge because all of a sudden I didn't have it after he complained, and I was like, "What is this
Yeah.
crap?"
No,
Eh,
I think you just he beat you to it, man. He like he said he was going to report
So
you so
funny.
that you lose your badge.
That's
So
amazing.
it was funny anyway. And then of course he retained it from there on, or yeah, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think he wins this one, man.
he won.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was funny. It was hilarious because I just spent like an hour or whatever it was just commenting left. I was like, "Oh, hey, I got it."
It's so funny too, because like your comments were just like nonsense. They were they were like, oh, how cool, or like awesome. And it's like, dude, just like the most generic copy paste comments you could ever think.
Oh, well, I understand algorithms, luckily, so I knew what it was
Yeah.
going to take, and it wasn't going to take much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, all right.
All right.
Josh, you
So
got you.
we're having Dan back on next week, right? You coming back, Gomez?
Uh, Whenever you want,
Yeah, oh,
I'll come on.
well, you heard it.
What? Jeez.
Well, we love it when you drop. I mean, every time you come on, you drop like variant knowledge that we just don't know, or I
Yeah,
don't
it's super
know.
important. It's a collective effort, right? Everybody's got to do it. And big props to CGC. Joseph Ross has been posting a few that I had never seen before, which is cool. The Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 one with the UPC variant. I don't know if you saw that. That was
No, I
neat.
didn't see that. What's that one about?
It's
Oh,
UPC you can't scan because they printed it like garbage. And so
Oh,
they did
really?
wait,
they
let me
did
Can you
a
pull.
pull,
reprint
can you
on it.
pull that one up?
Yeah,
I want to
hold
see
on
Yeah.
a
that.
It
hold
was
on a
it was
sec.
on Facebook. Didn't you see that, Matt?
Yeah, I here. Let me pull it up.
It was a
Hopefully,
cool variant. It's not on
just let
it,
me know that I'm not sharing my screen here because I'm gonna.
so I mean it's a good thing to have competition, but it's also awesome to have an extra set of eyes digging into variants on this stuff so
Yeah, I mean,
people
we
discover
need
what
more
it is.
people doing that, right? Like,
Right.
it doesn't matter who it is. Like, I mean, we need more people just doing that and discovering this information. So
Well,
I don't,
it helps drive collectability on things, in my opinion, and people are going to search out those earlier prints and on something like that now. Who wouldn't want
yeah,
a first print over a second print?
for sure.
Well, I'd want both actually, but that's just me.
I'm gonna save these images to my desktop and pull them up.
Yeah, sorry to go on the other company there, Dan, but that was a cool one. Shout out to that because it was a neat variant.
Actually, I'm gonna
Uh,
do
And then he
one
shared
second.
one today on Super Nintendo that I hadn't seen, Smash TV, but it's a country variant instead of made in USA
nice.
or for sale and use in USA only. It was USA, Canada, and Mexico only added.
Hell
So
yeah,
Oh,
those are
gosh,
fun.
sorry, one
anyway,
second. I'm almost done here.
that's what she said.
We found a Where's Waldo on NES variant. UPC, incorrect UPC. Like the digits are the same, but like the bars and the barcode are different.
Mm.
Those are
Did you see
super
the
hard
one that
to
I
find.
found on Harvest Moon?
No.
Yeah, I have a Harvest Moon one. Yeah, you can see there.
Um,
Uh, uh,
Okay.
that's it's a UPC variant. When you scan the UPC, it brings up Wave Race Blue Storm, but then they fixed it. You scan it, brings up
mhm.
Harvest.
Well,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
here's one of the adjusted ones, and these are two ahead of the final. So these
Mhm.
are the first two.
Okay.
I'd I'd have to. I'm not sure which is what.
No, it must be a sticker variant.
Let me here. Let me stop share because it's in private chat, and then I'll read it out.
Okay. Um,
So there's a first print with a leveled UPC, a second print with an unleveled sticker over the UPC, and
to
a
fix.
third print with the UPC unleveled.
So they fixed the UPC on that print. So they used the sticker to fix it so they could scan it.
Temporarily until they could print new cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We've
cool.
seen that actually quite a bit on different things where they have like an intermediate sticker solution and then they like update it later.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Makes sense.
So that was the case, which adds 2 more variants.
yeah, let me send you this. Where's Waldo? This one was tough to find. I'm just gonna send it. Where should I send it to? Chat.
Yeah, just put it in the chat here.
File.
Wouldn't it be cool if the Where's Waldo variant was like they moved Waldo somewhere else on the box?
Now that would be awesome.
It was too hard to find. He was too hard to find, so they had to make it easier.
You know, if I was in charge of reprinting that box, I would have fucked with that shit and moved him around.
All right, I sent it over in the chat if you want to pull that up.
Yeah, 1 sec. I wonder if I can just share. So I'll see if I can just share just that. I should be able to. Okay, it looks like I can.
Nice. Yeah, so if you look at the barcode, the digits, the actual UPC is the same, but then if you look at the bars, they're different shape, like different arrangement. That's because it's printed wrong.
Well, it looks like different side numbers too, right? So there's like the 7 and the
they changed it
3.
to 7 and 3 and 0 and
Yeah.
nothing trails.
So yeah, so like the entry digit and the check digit are different, but like the manufacturer number and then the UPC, the product code are the same. And then you can see just like how it changes at the ends there.
Yeah, the bars are different.
Yeah. So those are a little bit harder to spot just because like you have to really look at it pretty hard. But we've seen this happen like we've seen it happen a lot. There's a Digimon PS1 game that this happened to also. There's a bunch of other ones too.
This is a new NES variant. For all you Nintendo idiots out there, go for it.
So what would be first and second here?
The 7 and 3.
The 7 and 3's first,
Second.
and the 0 second.
0's first.
0 is first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting
What's
for
the pop on this right now? Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's in the pop report already.
Oh, I can share that.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Let me pull that up again.
I'm always looking at screenshots on the back of games now, like when I have multiple copies of it.
There you go. Okay.
Corrected and misprint. So there's more misprints than corrected.
PHQ's got stupid variants. Like Home Alone 2 has the address variant, the address change variant. It's impossible to find the second print.
Yeah.
It's so rare. What is the pop on that Home Alone 2? Yeah, they've created one, and it's like a trash copy.
Didn't Braveheart point that one out a long time ago?
No, he pointed out because I was talking about, I think we mentioned how it never shows up for sale, and then he pointed one out. It's like, oh, here's one right here.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, and it never comes up CIB either.
But there's a sealed one. That's crazy.
Yep. Anyway,
man, variants are fun.
Variants are fun. So that's it. That's all we got.
That's it.
Thanks for coming on, Danny.
Man, we literally had one thing to talk about, and look, we just blew 2 hours.
Wow. Well, thank you guys for having me back on and again unbanning me from this platform.
We
Well-
hope it's not a year when you come back on, you know.
Technically that email still doesn't work to log in here. It was the other one.
Yeah, I'm on my like seventh burner email to chat with you guys. So let's just keep it under control.
You can thank Dan Kaplan for that since he
don't bring
was
up CDs, dude. Don't do it.
CGC.
Nothing.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah,
We
you
appreciate
guys.
it. Do you
course.
want to let anybody know where they can find you or anything like that? You want to, throw anything
think-
out there?
People know, man.
Sure. You can find me on Instagram as wafflefoot underscore I don't know what your handle is. It's just wafflefoot. No, PSA Danny on Instagram. That's it. Modern Database on Instagram. Pretty inactive on there right now. Just don't never have time to update it, but you can still get some pretty good information on there if you're looking.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So if you have any cool information, some cool variant stuff that maybe Dan doesn't know about, shoot him a message on there. I'm sure he'd love to dig into some other rabbit hole somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you as always. We appreciate it. Great to have you on.
Thank you. I guess I'll see you at if I see you at Portland if I don't see you again on here.
You're going up to Portland?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Sweet. Awesome. Sounds
Right.
good. And I got some trade bait if you have anything cool. Just saying.
Yeah, we got a Halo soundtrack. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to talk about CDs. Sorry.
Music CDs are fine.
Okay.
Toby Keith,
No,
disco CDs. Nah.
I'd have to read his text again.
All
Yeah.
right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks
right.
everybody for watching. Leave your thoughts and comments below. We appreciate and love you all. See you again next time.